Now let's take a look at this knuckle. What I call a knuckle is this round bit right here. And that fits with a little pin that fits down through there, and it gets attached to this pipe, the riser, with the set screw. And here's the set screw on the side. And sometimes this set screw just goes through the plastic and it will have threads, and it just pushes against this metal, the metal riser pipe, okay? But for this particular one, I thought that was that's kind of good. You see where this screw is? See how it actually goes through the metal all the way. Most of them don't do that, and that's why this knuckle sometimes gets loose on this riser pipe, because the screw usually is just pushed and indented into this pipe. And I thought that for sure that would be loose, and see, I haven't even tried to tighten it yet, and it feels like it's tight. And see, it is almost tight, but you see, if you can imagine, if that was loose, then your knuckle will flop around. And that's what I thought was making that noise. But that seems tight. Okay. Now see, everything on here looks okay. This pin's in here okay. See, if you take that screw out, then you can swivel this around, and then that pin can come out. And that pin kind of hold, you know, kind of keeps this from swiveling around a little bit. But basically this set screw right here, you want to make sure that's tight, and that's pretty tight. But sometimes you might have to take a slotted screwdriver, which is a standard, or slotted, and you can fit it all the way through there and get it just a little bit tighter sometimes than your Phillips, especially if the screw doesn't go through your pipe, okay? And so, you know what? That is nice and tight. Do you remember our set screws down there? We tightened up those. The cotter pin went, that pin, and then there's a little cotter key thing on the end of it there that keeps that. It just is sloppy. That's okay. Oh, that's right. There was some screws on there. Now that I have it down here, maybe I can get it if I tilt these sideways, huh? Like that. I can take and see. Let's just get you back here. I think these are pretty. I would have thought they're tight. I guess I better not make any assumptions, right? Let's see, they look to be okay. More times than not, you don't have a base kind of like that. But here it just happens to be a base that's attached on there. Okay. Now that seems all tight. This is tight, whereas lots of times that knuckle's loose. And see, sometimes I'll get up there and there's an actual slot in here. See that little slot right there? Let's see if you can see that. See? Right there. That slot. That fits in a little tit that's up there. And so when you put this in, you have to lift it up and flop it in there. Then you have to twist this around until this kind of fits in the groove, and it will go ka-clunk, and it kind of sets. That keeps this whole thing from spinning. If you don't get that in there, this whole thing will spin, and all your wires are up in there, and eventually it's going to wind and wind and wind and wind, and pretty soon it's going to break. The screws or the wire nuts are going to come loose. It's going to tear out of a wire nut, and you're going to be like, how come my ceiling fan's not working? Call an electrician. Well, you wouldn't have to call an electrician if you knew what you were doing and got up there and checked it all out and made sure it was in that groove, huh? Yeah. Okay, so now that's tight. So now I'm gonna get up in there and check a little bit more out from that. See that that ring there where that neck is? That's where you kind of have to lift that up over in there, and I'll get up there and I'll show you a little bit more about that next. This time I'm going to carry the whole tripod up there with me, and I got my screwdriver, my Phillips screwdriver, and we're going to take a look at this now, because now that I don't have any wires and the whole ceiling fan's out of my way, I can check this. Okay, see that little tit right there? It's not very much, you can hardly see it. See, right there. That fits in that little edge. So when you lift this up and over, so all the wires and stuff have to go up over through this, and then you swivel it around until it hits in there, and it will go clunk and seat down there. Remember when I was moving that, this thing was moving. You see how this is moving? And I was hoping that box up in the ceiling wasn't moving, because if you put this on the wrong type of box, I hope you don't just take a light fixture out and it's a plastic box that you're gonna attach this whole thing to, because if so, plastic boxes are not designed to hold up that whole ceiling fan. You saw how heavy that was. And then a plastic box usually is only mounted on one side with a couple nails or something, and then the plastic box is up there. Yeah, it's good enough to hold a little light fixture, but a whole ceiling fan? No. So see, this box up here is metal, and it looks like it's a heavy gauge box for a ceiling fan, which I'm happy to see, but you see how this is moving sideways? That tells me these mounting screws are loose, and that could be causing the box, you see there? I'm just tightening that. Look at that, look how loose that was. That's going up into a metal box, okay? And that could have been going back and forth. Look how far that was, good grief. I was thinking, is that screw stripped? But no, it's still screwing. And see how much tighter I've got that. Look at this screw over here now. Look how far away from the metal it is. Okay, I haven't even touched this one yet. Look at that. You shouldn't be able to do that. That's holding all your weight of your ceiling fan. Right there, those two screws, and with it wobbling back and forth, can you see, after years of it slightly wobbling, I'm gonna try to get it a little tighter. After a couple years of it wobbling, eventually that's gonna move the screw out away. Just a little bit, it doesn't take much. And see there, this is not moving now, is it? With that wobbling, just that little bit, you know, every night or every time you got the ceiling fan on, that is gonna cause it to wobble. As it's wobbling, it's causing it to click, 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 click. Aye. Okay. You know what's happening is this mounting bracket was on top of the sheetrock a little bit. They didn't really cut out the sheetrock out to the box, and the box is set just a hair below the line. That's why I keep screwing it, and it's pushing it right up into the sheetrock. See there? It seems as though that's up there. I might as well check that screw for the ground, and that's tight. Okay, see that comes with your ceiling fan, this one here, okay? And here's your black and white wire coming from the from the light switch. And see, they actually have a red wire up there too. because if you didn't have that module thing, that might have been, they might have thought, oh, okay, well, we can make that for the light or something. But you don't usually need that for a ceiling fan, because the ceiling fan will come with another wire, generally, from your ceiling fan. And then if you got a light kit, then you hook up that wire. And if you don't have a light kit, you don't hook the wire up. Okay? Well, for some reason, they got a red wire up there, and it's capped off in the red wire nut up there. Like you can see that. Okay. Man, okay, so that is nice and tight. You think this ceiling fan's gonna click anymore? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Now let's just look at this a little bit more. You see, most of the time, let's say you're not going to hook up this module, okay? That's for the handheld control. The handheld control goes up here, signals this with the antenna, and controls your ceiling fan on, off. See, low, medium, high, fan off, light, dimmer. And the funny thing is, some of them have reverse. And usually that's on there too, but this one didn't have it, and it's got it. Usually you'll see it somewhere, and this one's right here. I can turn it the other way, and the blades will reverse the opposite direction. Or I have it one direction, and usually I do it so when you're standing directly underneath the ceiling fan, it blows directly down. If you turn it in reverse, it actually sucks the air up from the ground. So if you have a heater, or fireplace or something, and it's the middle of winter, you can turn these blades the opposite direction right there if your handheld remote doesn't have the reverse, okay? Sorry about the phone, but anyways, then it sucks the air up, right up to the ceiling, and then it takes it at the ceiling and blows it sideways to your walls, and then from your wall down. So it takes all the hot air way up high and blows it back down into your room. Can you believe that? And then in the summer, you have the blades turning the opposite direction, and then that throws your air straight down. Okay,